So starboard main sheet winch here, again a 3-speed option. This one is driven, starboard side, port side not driven. You can see here we've got the button selectors, port starboard engager, and then we've got a string drop, which is a designated hub on the bottom of this starboard main sheet winch. Obviously mirror image both sides. You can see here we've got twin clutches for kite sheets, so nicely concealed under deck, and then they go to a turning block and then up to your primaries on your central pod here. Main sheet man, you've got Outhaul Cunningham traveller lines. I believe there's a magic wheel below deck for obviously your purchase required on the main sheet traveller. Throttle control off to starboard, and then here's your main hatchway for access down below. Huge cockpit space this really. Obviously the cockpit extends much further forward than traditional boats. We've got the mast steps right here, so you can touch the rig from you know, all parts of the cockpit. Cockpit sides here are pretty high. They're sort of between knee and thigh depth, so pretty deep. You feel actually quite secure in it. Obviously high spec throughout. These are the Air 300 winches, again 3-speed, and with the overdrive box in the pedestal we then have a 6-gear option. Obviously both primaries are driven, central halyard winch not driven, but counter rotating, and there's a speed ring on the bottom. This is really the hub of most of the controls. Largely hydraulically driven, so we've got deflector operation, there's jib in and outs, jib up downs, and forestay control, and then here you have a few lock functions for the rig, so masthead, jibs, and obviously mainsail. Below this, quite nicely concealed, that's your main pump down there, so your trimmer sort of sits in this middle pod area, and you have your pump handle, which then obviously controls your hydraulic rams below deck and gives you your output up here. So very neat, sort of well compact system that keeps you in the right places when you're trying to trim sails. Obviously with all the locks, we don't have many clutches, so there's a sort of baby jammer for the jib halyard. We have got one kite halyard on a clutch. So there's a bit of control there. Obviously, otherwise you can see all your halyards here are just in cam cleats once they're up on the locks. Moving forward, jib tracks. Obviously, pretty conventional 3D system with your jib up down, jib in out, which you can see goes to this high load sheave here, and then down below deck where your pumps and rams are. There's also just some tidy clips for halyards, and you can see here we've got an outboard sheeting position. I guess that's for a spinnaker staysail where you sheet from, and obviously same the other side. Obviously mast gate all blocked up at the minute, and then the foredeck is really super clean. Quite a bit of camber on it. There's obviously the big radius on the gunnel there, but yeah, I guess getting a lot of structure from the deck shape. Huge forward hatch, very easy, must be for spinnaker drops. You've obviously got a furling little gaiter there and a inflatable seal, so trying to do the best to keep the water out, and then a little ladder down. It's obviously quite deep down there. Forward here we've got a little well. This is for tacking points for Genoa staysails, and then further forward we have the underdeck furler for spinnaker staysail, and then right at the front we have our adjustable forestay. You can see the tacho here, and obviously that's on a ram, and then a twin bowsprit, twin tack line setup. One can go 2 to 1. Super nice detail, again McConaughey build, so it's never going to be a slouch. Aerofoil stanchions up here. You've got rollers for spinnaker takedowns. You can see here chain plates, really nice detail on those. You've got the sort of half chamfer here, so the back deck is a little bit angled down. So obviously when the boat's heeled, this is actually pretty much a flat surface. So although it's relatively hard to get around when she's on the flat, as soon as the boat starts heeling, you know, it's a different idea. Boat's obviously only had about 7 or 8 events use since it was built. You can tell, you know, run a bucket of fresh water over it and she'll look $1 million. The boat, you know, you can tell with all the blocks and hardware, running rigging, all looks very fresh. So I think it's a case of putting a few hours in and you'll have you know, a very exciting boat on your hands here. Anyway, let's jump downstairs and have a look.